I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Have a Thursday.
Happy Thursday, Daddy Cam.
Oh, boy. Gosh, I got to tell you, that just really rocked my world yesterday. If you missed the regular show today, and people still don't even know that when the Mexican Queen and I went to Boston for St. Patty's Day, we bar hopped 3 days in a row. And then, after a couple cocktails, we got a little bit loose and reacquainted with one another again and bumped uglies.
You bar hopped, and then she hopped on that penis.
Oh, yeah. No, she did. I mean, it was like every night there. And even since we got back, it's fired back up again.
Boston
Wow.
Ralston knows how to throw it.
You reminded her of how good that D is.
Yeah.
And now she's like, wait a minute. What have I been missing out on all this time?
He's like, oh, Boston Ralston's got a rad cock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so out of left field. I don't know what happened, and somebody did because I've gotten a gazillion comments today on this.
Oh, you're gonna get a gazillion more.
One thing that one person had texted in, they said around menopause, that seems to be one of the signs is that women get horny. I was like, whoa, no way. So I don't know where we are, but the Queen is 51 now, and as far as I know, she hasn't gone through it. In fact, when I talked to her when we were in Boston, she's like, oh, yeah. She's like, don't worry. There's no way I could get pregnant now. And then I'm like, okay. So I went for it,
But if you're still menstruating on a regular basis.
Right, and she is.
If every 28 days you are still bleeding normal, you can absolutely still get pregnant.
So we did not do the PO method. Pull out. My man went.
I feel bad for my daughter because she's in the chat room. She's like, I'm closing my ears.
Caitlin's in the chat room?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Hey, Caitlin, loads and loads.
Yeah, if you're going to do podcasts about your sex life that I got to be exposed to, you're going to listen to this and like it.
Oh, gosh.
You were once one of those loads.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know whether to be just horrified or hard.
It's a weird place to be, right?
I don't know what's going on.
To be weirded out with a boner is a weird place to be.
I hate it.
It's an odd place to be. Yeah. So, I got that information. And then, yesterday she said, a woman that I teach with, she usually gets her period right after mine. And she made a comment, and my wife was like, oh, wait, so you got yours? She's like, I haven't gotten mine yet. And she's like, I must be, close to a week late. I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you told me in Boston. She's like, yeah, but I had been drinking. I'm like,
Plus,
but still, that's kind of an important thing to get right.
Honestly, though, I don't think Boston Ralston gave a fuck because he's edgier. He's a little bit just
I
more
don't
about.
know.
And it had been a while, so Boston Ralston was thirsty.
I was. So I'm like, I was just happy to be there.
Oh man, I want to ask Boston Ralston so many questions.
You can ask.
Okay.
You can ask. I don't care. Fire away.
Do I have consent of just one intimate question?
You can ask all you want. Yeah.
Did Boston Ralston 69?
No.
Okay, all right, okay.
No.
But he came inside her. Fully.
It's so hot when Virginia talks dirty.
I know, right?
Well, that was
came inside her. Well, thank you, doctor.
Well, me and Panda do the pull-out method, and I think
It's a dangerous game, too.
It's less scary, but there's no guarantees. Even with that one,
Sure,
you'll
yeah.
get one past the goalie.
The PCs, not the poopy cramps, the pre-cum. Yeah, I know.
I don't have to explain pre-cum to you. I'm sure you've pre-cum all over your house,
All over the place, Kev. The kitchen,
on the wall,
dinosaur garden.
ceiling.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this is just nothing, but man, it took me back to being a younger dude and having those pregnancy scares. And it's not the first time I've heard, I'm late. I'm like, oh, what? And it's just immediately, I almost throw up. Yesterday I was like, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I just started working it through in my head.
But You said something to me after you cut off the mics, and I think this is very important. Because when you got the news that she was late, you were scared. She was excited.
Yes. Yeah, she loves being a mom. She loves kids, and it's good because she, is a pre-K teacher. And she deals with that age group, and she loves small little kids. They climb all over her, and she can't get enough.
She eats it up. She loves Rocco.
Yeah, she does.
Whenever Rocco comes around, they beeline for each other. She speaks that kid language, and it makes her happy. It fills her emotional basket.
Yeah.
Much like a Boston Ralston cock.
Oh, that thing is so rad. It wears Boston jerseys on the reg.
It loves to eat beans.
He's got a Boston hat right on top.
Yeah, fuck them Boston yards.
Yeah.
That's how it talks.
Loves a tea party.
Eats donuts from Dunkin'.
Tea party. It's a tea bagging. It's rude.
Yeah.
It's a rude rad cock.
It's a rude rad cock.
Yeah, it's got attitude.
And it gets it done.
It's got attitude. It knocks all the bitches up.
But
It's just a baby maker.
she is excited about it. So just follow me. This could be her being hopeful.
I know. I think it is. And then, and trust me, the first thing, seeing the way she was reacting yesterday and the way I was reacting, there was a little bit like, you freaking told me in Boston, like it was all good. You couldn't get pregnant. Right? I was like, so I'm a little pissed, right? So I'm like, that's pretty damn reckless. I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you feel like she trapped you a bit?
I don't know. I mean, we're married. We got, I can't, so many
Not
kids. I can't
trapped.
even,
That's the wrong term, I guess.
Are you old Mother Hubbard living in a shoe?
But like I had said earlier on the show, my next door neighbor, kind of, I got to see what happened because same thing. He and his wife, I think it was St. Patty's Day. I think they went to New York or Boston.
That's weird.
They had drinks. She got knocked up. He didn't think it was going to be possible. And he has got now twin boys that are younger than his grandkids.
That sounds really rough. Twin boys.
And look, he's a great dad. And I'm like, every time I see him, he's out there playing around with them or just sitting in his chair because he can't,
He can't run.
Right. But I'm like, God bless him, man.
He can't really talk either.
God bless him. He's like the best dad and the best dude, cool guy. And I was walking it through. I'm like, I'm him. I'm going to be him.
Well, I wouldn't worry about anything until it's time to worry about.
Yeah,
By the
you're right.
way, I think women are late a lot. You can be. I remember one of the. I haven't had many scares in my life. I remember one went about 2.5 weeks, which was kind of long, and she wasn't pregnant.
Okay.
Maybe it was 2 weeks, but it can go a while. I'm sure you'll have some stories. Someone sending you an email, Kevin. I was 6 weeks late and I wasn't even pregnant.
Yeah, and I'm assuming, I kind of brought this in here because I needed some assurances, and Virginia gave me a 70-30, which was
Don't fucking listen to Sunshine
I know.
over here.
Don't listen to me, the girl who's actually going through menopause and knows all about it.
So I didn't really love Virginia's numbers, honestly.
70-30, bruh.
Gosh, that 30's way too high, man.
And how annoying is that, bruh? Right in this moment.
I didn't need that.
In this moment, that
Boston
bruh.
Ralston loved it.
No, I don't know.
He might have punched you.
Oh, I will fight that bitch.
He's drunk. He won't feel it.
He won't, man. He'll
care.
fight the cops. He'll fight anybody.
Hit him all you want.
At this point, you have now lost all control of the situation. There's nothing you can say or do to change whatever is. It's already, you've planted your seed and the garden's going to grow, or she's going through menopause.
Bottom line, Kev, it's 70-30, and 9 out of 10 men are dick faces.
Virginia stats, yeah.
You're going to listen to this,
I know I
Matthew?
don't believe her numbers, but I don't know in which direction to not believe them.
Don't believe her numbers.
Yeah, I don't believe them. I just don't know in which direction not to believe.
She's Latin. She's probably a little more fertile than me. Latin women do tend to hold on to their fertility. That is real. I've seen it.
Virginia's being a dick right now. I'm telling you, she's trying to get in that head. Don't
But
let her
there's
in.
probably a 70% chance she's not pregnant.
Nah, I would go. You're probably 90-10. and I'm probably giving too much to the 10, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, I like that. I need a 9 in front of the probably not.
You have, well,
And
not
I prefer 2 9s.
9.
In fact, I prefer 3 9s.
Yeah, I'd say 90% you're good. But then again, 9 out of 10 men, Kevin.
You've never been pregnant. You've never gone through menopause. You've never birthed a kid. I've done all that shit. Sit down, bitch.
That's why it's alarming that you're wrong all the time.
I'm telling you, 70-30.
So I just sat there yesterday and stared off into space, just thinking about I'm never retiring.
You got that dad look. That's what all dads do.
I'll work forever. My dreams of traveling gone.
That was the look my dad had, right late 40s. What you got right
How
going
many kids
on.
did your dad have?
He had 4.
That's what Kevin's gonna have.
Technically, kind of 5. Yeah, my niece stayed. Pretty much like my sister. So yeah, it was 5. He looked. It was that stare where you would ask my dad a question and he would answer it 32 minutes later. Hey, Dad, where are we going today? 32 minutes later. Oh, we're gonna go play tennis. Like, Dad, you all right? Yeah, I'm great.
I assume it's nothing. People are pointing out, yes, we had to do the IVF with Canon, and so it was not easy. So that's why Boston Ralston got a little reckless, because in that moment, after drinking all day, I worked it through. I was like, yeah, I mean, she's already pretty much told you, like, the menopause is kicked in, ain't gonna happen, couldn't get pregnant before. You're good, dude. Do whatever you want. There's no way.
The only thing I would say is, I mean, there's so much backup and buildup from you never touching a titty in about 2.5 years. As soon as you like, as soon as
It's like a geyser. She flew off and hit the ceiling.
Kevin threw ropes at her.
that could not have lasted a long. That could not have been a long
Her
bout.
head went through the ceiling.
That first round, my God.
She had it in her throat.
It looked like a fire hydrant.
Yeah, your balls are probably go, what is going on, guys?
I lost 15 pounds.
Just say you look a little trim.
I lost 15 pounds of jizz weight. Didn't know I was carrying it around with me. It's crazy, yeah. Kev, you look so skinny. Yeah. Oh, man. Let me see. You got bunch of emails here. Yeah, Karen said, my uncle's wife, mom, got pregnant at 50 and we're Hispanic.
Uh-oh.
Now the kid is 8.
Oh,
Okay,
this
I
is the
didn't
part
need
where
that.
people freak you out more.
Hispanic facts. No, don't listen to those.
Didn't want that one.
Well, you're almost. It's not the. You know what it is? It's your approach, Virginia. I'm not even saying you're wrong with your numbers. You're just a dick about your approach.
I've always been a dick. You just meet me?
No, I have not.
Well, you know what you know.
I still think Virginia's numbers are off.
No. I'll get my OBGYN on the phone. She'll tell you.
Dr. Thornton?
Yep, Dr. Thornton.
Great woman.
She is.
The only positive on this that Samantha sent in, she can't get a neck tattoo if she's pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a plus.
There's an email from Rita who says, Kev, your wife is taking the RM3, which is made from the HCG hormone. That's the Red Mountain stuff. This is the same hormone women produce when they are pregnant. This is also probably impacting her cycle. She also tests positive on a pregnancy test. If I'm right, I'd like to win the $1,000 because I just save you lots of money and stress for your future.
Whoa.
Yeah, dog, fuck going to a doctor. You got that email right there. You're good.
So there's something in the Red Mountain that says you're pregnant?
Well, it's the RM3. Yeah, it's HCG. No, and I think what it is, and she lost the weight, and that's the thing about the Red Mountain. Once you lose the weight, you don't need to do it anymore. So she's been off of it for, probably a couple months.
Okay.
So.
She'd be looking too fine. You had to hit it in Boston.
Oh, man. Gosh. Oh, damn you, Red Mountain.
Boston Ralston, man. I want to party with that guy.
You might be careful.
I'm just afraid.
He might fuck you.
I'm afraid he's going to just
He fucks everything.
blow me up to Boston.
You've always wanted to be pregnant, though. You talked about that.
I think I'd be a great
Yeah.
pregnant woman. I do for at least the first 2 trimesters. Third one, I would be quite.
It'd be Ms. The third trimester, everybody's Ms.
Yeah.
Other baby stuff here. Cynthia said, I wanted to warn Denny's early on when he said he was taking input or was going to announce his son's name early. I made the mistake of doing the same, and I was a bartender at the time, and everybody and their mother weighed in, and I was getting so pissed, and I had to remind myself, why was I listening to these fools? As a pregnant bartender, lots of people get shut off that day, and it was also my last day. Sorry, Banana Boat.
Aw.
And as far as the names of people and pets, like Kevin says, you grow into your name and their personality shows through. Just because you name your pet doesn't mean you get a lock on that name. That was from earlier in the show. It was Mad Mama Drama. People are idiots for interjecting their opinions, especially when there are generation gaps. Sometimes less is more. Okay. Thank you for all of that.
Yes.
Formative stuff. Got some info on the cryo chamber stuff that we were talking about. Jay Bird was talking about Mark
Mocky
Wahlberg.
Mock.
Yeah, and how he does that. Zaina said Russians and people in that part of the world have been doing this stuff since olden times. As a kid, for PT, we would sometimes go outside in the winter in our bathing suits and pour cold water over ourselves. It was believed it was great for your immune system. People train themselves and try to be able to handle more and more of the cold.
I believe that if you grow up on that kind of terrain and it's real rough and the conditions are all harsh, that's got to change and shape your personality a bit, right? If you grew up in a hard-ass area like that?
Yeah, no, they really are. I mean, you people that part of the world, man, they're tough. They're hardened people, and I think the weather will do that, no doubt. I mean, if you've got to be tough to survive, human beings adapt.
You just to go get some bread, you got to go through
A tundra.
That changes you.
Yeah.
You're not soft. I can tell you that much.
Cosimo sent an email, said you guys were talking about the cryo and there are benefits in reduced inflammation and recovery, but more recent studies have shown that there are higher benefits in cold showers and cold plunges when it comes to recovery, inflammation, long-lasting spikes in dopamine and energy, as well as turning white fat cells to brown fat cells, which is better for burning fat. It's been proven most beneficial when done 11 minutes a week. Not all at once, but several sessions of 3 or 4 minutes. Also, side note, curly tails have been here for over 20 years, so that's hardly invasive.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Curly tails, wrongly persecuted.
I would say I got a lot of support for Lydia the Lizard, and I want to thank the good people. Majority have been very loving comments, so thank you.
Rachel in Seattle, she also heard part of that was Virginia was talking about her friend doing the cold plunge and also some Wim Hof type of breathing.
Yeah, it's like a thing I never did before, but my girlfriend's been going to this place and she says she's gotten immune relief because she's got like a really jacked up immune system.
She said that she heard you talking about that and actually checked into the place that is hosting this breathing class, the one that you're going to be attending, and she said, I don't know, but I think the Wim Hof guy kind of looks like Jaybird. What do you guys think?
That's the bottom right picture. It looks like me right now. Yep.
You're that flexible?
No, I'm not that flexible, but I do have that belly.
Dude.
And I do have that gray hair.
You need to get into Wim Hof.
I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
That guy's going to be your sensei.
That's me without all the cool.
He's going to be your new cult leader. You're going to leave us all.
If you walked in just dressed like him, do you think you'd be confused?
Yeah. I think I'm
This
confused
guy's
now.
here to fucking steal my gig.
Who the fuck does this guy think he is?
Party on, brother. Party on. The Ice Warrior.
Yeah,
I'm the Rice
maybe
Warrior.
Maybe your Halloween costume this year. You go as a Wim Hof breather.
That guy is awesome.
He is.
I'm telling you, I watched a video. He was making bitches cry just by teaching them how to breathe, and they released like all this childhood trauma, and bitches started crying. I was like, what the hell is going on? It didn't look like acting. It looked like the real deal.
And where, is that on TikTok?
No, it was on YouTube.
Kevin, it wasn't acting.
Yeah.
It looked my girlfriend did it. She already went and did it, and she wants to go back again.
And she's healed?
She said it has given her immense relief with her immune system that she has major issues with.
Huh.
I didn't ask the details, but she said her friend has MS, and so she's taken her friend because people have gotten major relief from MS from Wim Hof breathing. And I was like, really? That sounds kind of cool. I don't have any of that, but I would like to get the healing properties, right? Like,
Yeah.
doesn't it sound awesome if it helps you relieve stress and anxiety and reduce cell damage?
Oh, my anxiety kind of gives my edge. No, I want to lose that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It serves you right.
Help me build a dinosaur garden.
Somebody texted in said the guy behind the Wim Hof, it's kind of an interesting thing why he got into the breathing and the cold. His wife had died and he got depressed and found this system to let go of his own pain.
Damn.
Look at that. Speaking of trauma,
Yeah.
How about that?
we all got some pain we're all walking with, no?
Oh, I hear you.
Yes.
Big time.
Yep.
And some of us, try to push it down, not talk about it, like not ever acknowledge it. And I think if you don't acknowledge the trauma and try to work through it, it will surface in your life in other ways. And who knows? It could surface by effing up your immune system. It could surface by effing up your organs. You don't know. You don't know what mental trauma damage does to you physically.
It could turn your sperm very potent when you're in Boston.
Somebody's getting pregnant.
Oof.
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 Is that the direct quote?
Oof.
That's what he said when he shot the load.
Oof. Oh.
It's a little bit more. Ooh, oh.
Oh, especially that first one.
Oh, yeah.
His eyes, without a doubt, they jumped out of his skull and came right back in.
Like in Beetlejuice?
Yes. How much did you have to pay the hotel for the roof?
Yeah, how much Beetlejuice did you throw?
Sorry, my wife's head went through your Max said, I got a couple of questions. First, whatever ended up with Denny's and his cool sculpting he was doing? I've been considering doing it myself, but was curious about the results. And,
Denny's! Mm-hmm. Let's see that muffin top.
Oh, let's see them abs, though.
that's right. I think when Denny started, he said, what, like 6 weeks to abs was...
What's up, Abraham Lincoln?
Abracadabra.
Okay. How did the cool sculpt go? Max wants to know what happened with it. He's thinking about doing it.
Oh, yeah. I actually like this cool scoping. I did a lot of it, though. So they did it for, it had to be half a year of doing that.
6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
How frequently did you go?
So it's tricky because I guess it causes frostbite in the area, so they freeze it. And then I would say it's swollen for maybe 2 weeks. And then when the swelling goes down, you can feel a little bit of a difference there. So I think after about 5 of I think I did 6 of those.
6 months, so
One a month.
One a month sounds right.
An ab per month.
Pretty much, yeah, just 1/4 of my abs each time. And I mean, I thought it worked pretty well. And then they did that machine on it that kind of stimulates or whatever.
Yeah, that's supposed to build your abs. Now, that thing's pretty crazy because it is an electromagnetic machine that makes your abdominal muscles contract and restrict. And oh my gosh, it's like doing 1,000 sit-ups.
It is. It probably feels what I would imagine labor pains to kind of, or contractions to feel
Like
like.
a TENS machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except for to the maximum.
And the concept is behind the cryo or the cool sculpting is that it's supposed to freeze and then kill the fat cells.
Yes.
That's why it's supposed to be effective. I did it as well, and honestly, it was not effective for me. I didn't notice any kind of change. And I've done a lot of the stuff because of what I do, and honestly, the stuff that is working is the semaglutide, and I'll even say the Red Mountain stuff. That really did. And everything that is the pharmaceutical stuff works. I know when I did hormone replacement therapy, that stuff was freaking effective.
You could feel it.
Right.
You could feel it and see it. Those are just a few of the products I've ever seen where I'm like, gosh, that really, it works. And
You
it
were
works on
impressed
like
with it.
everybody.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this, too. These machines, Cool Sculpt, laser hair removal, these machines, every year, there's a new generation of them
Yes, there
sold
is.
and put out in the market. So if wherever you go, if they're using an older generation of the technology, it's not going to be as good as like the newest Cool Sculpt machine. So if somebody is going out there and looking to do Cool Sculpt, it's a very educated question to ask the provider, how old is your Cool Sculpt machine? How old are your lasers that you use for laser hair removal? Because it makes a big difference how effective they are, but nothing compares to traditional lipo. I'm telling you, even if the best Cool Sculpt machine is put on your thighs or your back fat, you're not going to see more than a 30% reduction. You're just not.
Can you get that? If you get lipo, can you fight back and get your fat?
A lot of those cells will be gone forever, but you can fight back in areas around it. Well, like, so wherever they left a fat cell, that can still grow.
I can do the work. I can fight the good fight and get that fat pocket back.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not completely.
You can take on the challenge.
You can get around it back, but if they do a good job and they remove all the fat cells from that one area, you won't have regrowth. The fat cells, according to the experts, which I'm not one of, but they've told me this, you can't regrow your fat cells.
Supposedly they die forever if you.
Right. They die, they die. You suck them out, freeze them.
Dang, that's some Ivan Drago shit. If they die, they die. Rocky IV.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd say if you were going to do the Cool Sculpting, that would probably work best if you were trying to lose some vanity weight, I'd say.
A fat pocket rather than fat all over.
Exactly. If you were pretty heavy, I would say it would probably take years to actually work on you. But if you're already pretty trim and you do it, it will really help. I feel like it would help that area pop. Because I have like some upper abs that, I mean, used to be fat. I could feel it when I sat. For, like I said, for half a year, though, you get swollen each time you do it, so you can't really feel the results
right away.
For like 2 months, from each one. So it's kind of deceptive in that. But
yeah, it's tricky, and it's never as good as old traditional lipo.
I mean,
but then with old traditional lipo, you're laid up for a week. You got to have drains coming out of you where the fluid drains out. It's pretty.
Talk slower, because this is pretty fucking hot. Bone piece galore.
It's intense.
Max also had a second part to the question. Jaybird always mentions that people are hopped up on goofballs. Maybe that was before my time, but what are goofballs?
Drugs. You know, if you're hopped up on a goofball, you're taking some kind of a drug you're all hopped up on, making you act all goofy, like a goofball.
Okay.
Think about a little ball. You take it, makes you goofy.
Okay. It is what it says.
Goofballs. Okay. And I do believe a lot of motherfuckers out there are hopped up on goofballs.
Yeah, look around at Walmart. Everybody is not sober.
Man, I tell you what, it's a war out there when you go to Walmart.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We had gotten an email from Joanne, a Catholic fan who needs to go to weekly confession for listening and laughing at the ATS.
Sorry.
She explained out the Mark Wahlberg morning prayer time, and she said, as Catholics, it would be pretty easy to have 45 minutes or more of morning prayer time. We have the liturgy of the hours, special readings, and things like that you can do, so it's easy to go 15 to 20 minutes going through some of those things in your prayer time.
So to me, okay, I'm glad she answered that, because to me that's almost you're doing some Bible study or verse study.
It is.
You're sitting in contemplation in silence.
Yeah, a lot of people will do this, religious or not, where they just will meditate over things.
Yeah.
And you can meditate over scripture. You can meditate over some information or other readings. You set your mind straight, kind of get focused, think about your day.
That's when I meditate and I get in the practice of doing that, that's how I usually do it. I don't typically do the ones where you go the and all that kind. Although that stuff is very good and it's got so many benefits. I like doing it that way, where you are concentrating on something and contemplating and sitting in silence.
In our crazy world, everybody should be trying to take at least 5 to 10 minutes every single day just to be in a quiet space. Allow yourself time to think, reflect, work over things in your life. Sometimes you just run and go from the second your head comes off the pillow to it hits it again.
And when you do that, purposely do that. Make sure you're going into that quiet space to do that very thing.
Great place to do that is while you're driving. you don't always have to be listening to something. I will drive in silence a good bit of times.
If you're trying to work something out, driving in silence is really good for your mind.
Yep.
Walking in silence is really good for your mind. You can really mull over a problem and talk to yourself. And I look like an absolute fucking crazy person, and I don't care because I walk through my neighborhood and I have full conversations with myself.
Well, I'm a really big believer that walking out into nature, even if it's just your backyard, getting fresh air, kind of being connected to the earth, as trippy as that may sound, I think that's important for humans.
It is.
For a lot of us, it just does kind of calm you down and make you rethink a little bit. At least it does for me.
Yeah. Yesterday, I was in the car just driving in silence. And I was about halfway to Jacksonville thinking about my wife being late on her period before I finally turned around.
You do got to be careful. If there's something heavy on your mind, you might be in Orlando.
Yeah. We got Michelle here. She said, I don't want to be that girl, and you better not out me on the air, but definitely on the after the show. You can mention that, yes, there are lots of animals that like oral sex and also jerk off, from dolphins to lions. We're all animals, and we like to get her done.
Okay, finally.
Wow.
Getting some answers around these parts.
Yeah.
Wow, so lions like 69ing. Holy crud balls. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Here comes that bone piece again.
Get it, Simba.
She said, also, I can't believe that your guys' live show sold out so fucking fast. Now I know not to wait till lunchtime to book the next one. Yeah, it did, and I'm happy it went so fast. It was nice to see how many people want to come out to one of our live shows, and we're learning. We're getting back into the game. We haven't done one of these since before the pandemic, and so we're years removed from doing this. So this is going to be a big trial and error experiment for us, and we're going to have a conversation even today about how we might be able to have other people out. Because look, the Palm Beach Kennel Club is a large space.
It is. I was thinking that.
Yeah, there is a lot of room to put people. There is a lot of parking, so there might be some options to be able to party with people and then do what we can to try to accommodate as many people in the paddock room. I'm
getting a lot of people hitting me up, and they're sad, they're mad.
Well, if everybody laps up, you just have to sit with somebody on your lap. I think we'll be good.
Well, let's get weird. It's gonna be a weird event. Let's just get fucking weird with
Bigger
it.
person on the bottom, put a little person on your lap. Let's go.
I'm getting hit up hard of people that really want to go.
There's options. There are options. So we're going to start discussing those options today. So,
okay,
we
good.
do know, because we were encouraged that so many people wanted to go, but then we were sad that so many people were not able to go that wanted to. We were wondering if we'd be able to fill the place. So,
and this won't be the only one we do. This is just the first one in a series of live after the show podcasts that will be out and about.
And we'll get an idea what size venue we need for this from that. This is an interesting email from Linnea. She said, just an FYI that there is a Starbucks on Palm Beach on Worth Avenue. You talked about chains being over there and how Palm Beach Grill is actually a Houston's, but because of rules on chains that it is not named Houston's. She said this Starbucks is tucked behind Gucci next to Saks. I opened the store as a barista, and Starbucks had a big fight with the city of Palm Beach to get in there in the first place. And after they came up with the ordinances, so it was not easy to do. Residents thought that all of the homeless from Clematis were going to go to the Starbucks and hang out, and that's the last thing Palm Beachers want.
Homeless? We would never put up with that.
We don't like homeless people.
We don't even like apartment dwellers.
No.
Or lot lizards.
You must at least have a home that is 5,000 square feet in yardage.
In yardage?
Yardage.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, she trailed off towards the end.
Yardage.
I'm running out of steam.
She said it is a great store. Lots of famous people go there. Rod Stewart will hang out there sometimes, as well as James Patterson and others.
Is it the real Rod Stewart, though, or is it the fake one that's local?
The fake Rod Stewart hangs out in Gardens. The real Rod Stewart hangs out in Palm Beach. And you'll know which one you're seeing based on where you're like, wait, where am I?
You are right.
Now, if I saw the real Rod Stewart in Palm Beach Gardens, you'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
That's how he trips you up.
That town's not big enough for the both of them.
The real Rod Stewart is now going to go to Gardens and just F with your mind.
Is the fake Rod Stewart still around? Have you guys seen him of any time late? I have not.
no.
I saw him like 3 years ago.
Okay.
At Publix in Gardens.
Still doing it?
Still
Making the Rod...
shopping.
Still doing Rod Stewart stuff? He looked like Rod still? He had the look?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. He still had the look, the spiked hair. He was still playing the part.
It can't have the power today that it did then, though.
No, I would agree with you. I mean, but in the fucking 80s and 90s, that had power.
You're right.
And an email here from Heather. She said that Florida unclaimed money is no joke. I just got a check for my unclaimed money for $182. Just had to fill out a form and send a copy of my driver's license. Found money. Bam.
Yeah,
Easy.
I'm going to look into that tomorrow.
Okay. There you go. A lot of information here today.
Good information.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Really good stuff you laid on us. You can always send in your information via email, mail@kvjshow.com. And we'd love to get your comments here on the After the Show. Y'all have a great, good Friday. We'll see you back here soon. Goodbye.